be here at Hotland. Hi, everyone. I am Crusader here with PTM Racing here with my good friend Sparkalicious and the one Don't Mess with Texas McCarthy. We're here live at Hotlanta for a hot one here for the last race before the playoffs coming up next week at Kentucky Motor Speedway. So we got ourselves a battle here with the points race being an absolute battle to the finish. Like the Truck Series last night, anyone can make it in, and there's quite a few drivers looking to get in to that elusive spot. But nonetheless, Sparkalicious, can you give me the rundown on the lap counter tonight and what these guys and gals will be dealing with on this hot Atlanta track?
Okay, here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, which I like to call the tire eater, we're going to have 81 full laps in this race. The first stage is going to be 20 laps. The second stage is going to be 21 laps. That final stage is going to be 40 laps. Fuel run is roughly about 28 laps, but I don't think fuel is going to be the concern here. Like I said before, they call this the tire eater, and definitely tires is going to be the thing to watch out for in this run.
All right, yeah, indeed. Tires are really one of the hardest things to handle on this track, much less getting efficient with gas mileage. But this one is going to be interesting to see how these guys are able to handle this tricky track, because it isn't like a play track. It can garner really good drafts and good pushes to the end, but if you're not careful, that definitely can eat away at your tires and your car. So, McCarthy, can you give us a rundown on who will be into that Final Four here next week in Kentucky?
Yeah, so right now the top four, we're looking at K-Taddy leading the points with 53. Pottles is in second, 1 point back. El Blanco is in third with 48 points. And Young Racing is in fourth with 47 points. Checkmate is actually 1 point behind El Blanco and Young. I'm sorry, is 1 point behind Young. So, I mean, one little mistake and these guys are, going to be a big flop over.
All right, well, you guys heard live and proud right there and then. So you got a whole host of hot names and a whole host of tough talent just trying to make it into that Final Four spots. I mean, granted, last week we saw Cola, the newcomer, come in and absolutely dominate. So I'm curious to see how he will maybe a spoiler for some of these drivers. But I definitely can say, looking at what we've seen earlier today with some of these guys, there's a lot of great names and great talents just ready to hit it hard on here and prove why this is the Pro Cup Series. So I think we're going to be in for a good one tonight.
Oh, absolutely. With these points on the line, every position count, every point counts. Just like in the truck race last night where, if you would have got one stage point or if you would have got one position more, you could have been in. And if you didn't, you went out. I think that's the way it's going to be here tonight. It's going to be a dog.
All right, well, speaking of dogfights, let's go see how these guys handle this tire burner of a track. We're at Atlanta's Motor Speedway for the final race in the Season 6 series before the playoffs. And by the way, Sparkalicious, that was not fun of you to talk about McCarthy like that. We all were rooting for her last night, try to get a chance at that. That was a bit of a heartbreaker for her. I'll give her that.
Hey, to my defense, I put up one hell of a battle.
I'll give you that any day of the week. You did give everything you got, and then a pack of chips while you're at it. So, full credit to you, and full credit to all drivers last night. We had a heck of a battle for those Final Four last night.
Yes, we did. I was actually referring to Oaksey last night, who ended up being tied with Pottles for that last spot, and he unfortunately didn't get that stage point or get that one position that he needed to get in. That's how close it was. It came down to wins to decide who got in that last spot last night.
All right, well, guys, we're on the track right now, coming out of turn 3 out of 4. It looks like Checkmate Taylor having a little bit of a run from K-Taddy, and the number 22 trying to defend him off there. The number 8, Checkmate Taylor, holding his ground with El Blanco, El Succo, and Cola Motorsports, and that number 10 just yet again out to an early lead. But again, this is not like Canadian Tire. This ain't a road course. You can lose that lead quicker than you know it if you're not careful. So we'll see how these guys handle on this track.
Tell you what, it looks like Halloween up here with all these orange cars up front. Cola in the 10, you got El Blanco in the 41 there, and you got the 8 car all behind with these white, black, and orange cars. You would think it's October out here.
Man, I can tell you what, I love me some good Halloween days and Halloween nights, and when Baker's Night and Halloween comes around, that's my favorite holiday of the season. But I'll tell you one driver right now that's looking for a treat, and that's the number 22, K Taddy, battling it out with Young RCN, that Monster Energy machine, to battle for fifth here, excuse me, as K Taddy makes a little bit of move around down the bottom and gets around the number 1, Young RCN. Up front, though, El Blanco Del Succo, he has now made the move ahead of Cola Motorsports. He has taken the lead with Checkmate Taylor in the number 8 following right behind him.
Yeah, Checkmate Taylor, I think, as you said before, he's only 1 point out of the final spot here, so he needs to stay up front and try to do what he can to get as much points and positions as he can here. And there he goes for the lead coming in turn 3.
But look down below. Here comes the number 10 of Cola Motorsports. Cola looking to crack open one and try to overtake Checkmate Taylor. They're coming into turn 1, going into turn 2. It's going to be Checkmate Taylor holding him off. Paddles the throttle on the number 4 now. She has made her way up into the half. She's looking to try to get back into the points race.
Oh, contact with Young Racing in the 41.
Contact with Young Racing, that number 1 of Young Racing, and the 41 of El Blanco, El Succo, whatever the heck he wants to be called these days. Getting into it a little bit there. Oh, Paul Throttle loose out of turn 4, connecting with Young RCN and the number 1. Unfortunately, that was going to give the bad rap to Young RCN. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looked maybe like a little bit loose out of exit, and it took Young RCN with him. Unfortunately, a tough break for him, but it is early, though. It is only stage 1. These guys have a chance to catch back up.
Guys, to Crusader's defense, I think maybe at this point, since it is still early in the race, you get some pit strategy here. So there's a caution the next 5 or so laps. Put some fresh tires on there and let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not the end of the world here in that first stage. You can get back to the back, and then you can get back up to the front. Still a long way to go. It happened last night in that truck series race. A couple drivers had issues, but was able to get back up through the field. Same thing can happen here, and hopefully that one car can get back up there.
As you see right now, we got an onboard camera here with Checkmate Taylor. Again, he's 1 point out of that final 4th spot. And really, I don't think any of the drivers in the top 4 are safe from elimination here. So they have to make sure they got everything tightened up, locked up, ready to go, and ready to win. Because last night, there was one thing we saw. It was you're not safe from any position unless you got the big lead. Sludge managed to hold out because he had the big lead in the points, but Oaksey actually got bumped out because Powell's had a much better run that night, ended up taking the win, as you've seen earlier last night on this channel, and she just absolutely took the pedal to the metal and ended up winning that one. But right now, up front, the battle for first. Taddy in the number 22, going to do war with Cola in the number 10. So Cola giving up some ground, giving up some room. I think those drafts are really helping both drivers here. Both have a little bit of a teammate in the El Blanco El Suck on that 41 and Checkmate Taylor in number 8. So anyone can get around them coming out of turn 4. But Taddy looks like he's going to get the run off of that.
There we go down into turn 1, coming off turn 2. The same 4 cars right pretty much nose to tail as they come off of turn 2 here.
Cola Motorsports, you've heard his name earlier last week. He was a dominant force in Canadian Tire, but tonight, early on, he's still dominant. Whoa, a little bit of contact there from Checkmate Taylor in number 8 and the 41 El Succo. They connected down out of turn 4. A little bit of a brub in his racing, but that cost him a little bit of that draft. They're going to have to make up some ground there as they come out of turn 2. And it looks like K Taddy's going to make that work as Cola being held off right now up front.
Guys, too, remember, Cola's not in the championship 4, but he is still fighting for the best points position so that he can get a good car pick next season for Heat 5.
When Heat 5 comes around, folks, we can't wait to see the great races and the great moments to be spread around, but also keep in mind sooner or later we'll get you some iRacing broadcasts as well, and maybe one day down the road you'll see some Wreckfest stuff, but nonetheless, you can always tune in to PTM Racing on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and you can be sure to like, share, and subscribe as always, and come check us out because we will have some great action and some great moments to show you as we get a bit of a battle here. Hoffy and the number 3 doing battle with number 36, of JR. Oh, good old JR having some company there. G3 in that 19. Come a little closer than he wanted to with Hoffy. Almost connecting there out of turn 4.
Looks like they were going to go 3 wide. Spark, did you see what I was, is that what you were oohing and ahhing over? Because I was doing the same thing.
Yeah, that 19 car looked a little squirrely there for a minute, too. I thought we were going to have problems there for a minute, but no problems so far. We keep it clean and green.
Indeed, indeed. So keep it good and keep it rolling. But right now, up front, Take Taddy showing everyone how it's done at Hotlanta as we come down the wire here. Only a couple laps left of stage 1. We're getting the lap counter here in just a minute. We're down to 7 laps now. So early on, you can see a few of these guys put back in the back. Younger Cien from that early wreck. Looks like he's starting to make up some time. So he's catching up to some of the drivers. Not too many of them, but he's catching up a little bit. TWM in that number 48 has a little bit of a battle here with Naughty Milk Duds. I believe that's position 9th right now, or 10th, somewhere around there. But nonetheless, a battle there.
Yeah, it looks like the battle for 6th is also heating up. I got Mr. Rowdy in the 43 and JKR in the 2, battling for that spot.
Rowdy in that U.S. Air Force afterburner hot rod, just been an absolute force out of, no pun intended, for this entire season. But man, after Talladega, I've been kind of underwhelmed with Rowdy. He has not been as fast as some other drivers that I feel like he could be.
I've noticed that as well. It just doesn't seem like he just has the speed factor this season. Overall, it looks like.
Looks like TWM and Naughty Milk Duds. Yep, TWM's in the pits and Naughty Milk Duds out of the turn 4 into the straightaway there, front stretch. He ended up going and wrecking a little bit, so that's a tough break for him. I'll tell you one thing, Naughty Milk Duds just can't catch a break on anything, it seems like. Oh, wait a minute, as I say that, up front, here we go. Cola Motorsports in the number 10, trying to make the run off K Taddy in number 22, but Checkmate Taylor is there as well, giving Taddy the rub. Side by side, a little bit of rub in there out of turn 2. Holy smokes, watch that line, folks. They're going to give it a battle to the end for 4 laps remaining in this one.
Guys, remember, bonus points on the line, and Checkmate's only 1 point behind, so if he gets his bonus point, it'll put him tied for 4th, depending on how the ending results happen.
But if he's going to find a way to get that point, he's got to figure out what's the right line and what's the right way to get around these guys. Because here's the thing, Cola and Taddy are not going to give their line up, and they're not going to give you an opening as they're going to come up to lap traffic here in the number 48 of TWM. So hopefully he stays down the bottom, and he will. So staying out of the leader's way, but early on, we got another battle here. Coming out of turn 3 into 4, Taddy takes the bottom. Cola going to the middle. They're going to see who gets the better run off of that one. Here comes Cola Motorsports, and that number 10 now gets the back end of K Taddy and says, eat my bumper and see where you go, boy. I'm not letting my spot go anywhere from me.
Looks like he's going to settle right back down in the 2nd place coming off turn 2. See if he's going to try the outside here. Let's see if he can make it stick.
I'm just glad none of y'all yelled at my bad rhyme there. That was a horrible rhyme on my end.
That's okay. We'll let it pass this time.
Give me some time. I'll figure it out. I'm not good at rhyming. Why do you think I never became a rapper?
Crusader, you've having some problems tonight.
I haven't had any drinks. There you go.
Father Goose is laying eggs.
Okay, before we get to the geese talk here, let's get back to the road because we're not on the final lap of stage 1. The crucial stage point coming into play here. Cola Motorsports has K Taddy in his sights. El Succo trying to make the move and get around. It looks like he's not quite going to get it there. Coming down the straightaway here, it is all Taddy for the stage point. Checkmate Taylor finishing in 3rd with El Succo right in 4th.
That elusive bonus point went to Taddy, guys. Keep that in mind.
Taddy, I believe, is leading the points, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I believe that is correct.
I wish my producers would have gave us the points list and showed us like what everything is supposed to be on here. I'm in the booth right now with you guys, still 6 feet apart because, you know, the whole world epidemic, but whatever.
Don't fear, Crusader. I've already been told the producers to keep the piece of paper like I did last week, so they're on it for me.
They're on it for you?
Yes, sir.
Did you make sure they gave those flagmen the binoculars this time?
I gave them to the flagman this time. I don't.
Oh, you gave them to the flagman. Okay, so you did it personally.
I personally walked him down to the flagman and handed it to him. Watched him go go back up his little ladder with it and put him in the stand. Now, if he's going to use them, I have no idea.
We're going to find out here as we roll into stage 2. So early on, you can pick your numbers and pick your pick, but right now this is too close to call. Green flag high in the air. Put that pedal to the metal, boys and girls. We got another one at Hotlanta. Right, Taylor with a bad restart there. I apologize, Sparky. Go ahead.
This stage here pretty much going to be almost a carbon copy of the last stage. Pretty much 21 laps in this stage, so pretty much going to be the same. Let's see if anybody made the right adjustments, see if they can get up to the front.
You can see right in the back here, Young RCN battle for 7th right now, trying to get around the number 3 of Hoffy, and doing battle with the number 8 of Kate Checkmate Taylor. 3 wide, almost coming out of turn 4. All drivers maintaining position here. Here comes the number 1 of Young RCN trying to get the run from Rowdy and that number 43. The U.S. Air Force Afterburner giving a bit of a run. And
Hoppy in the wall.
Hoppy in the wall. Good old JR is in the wall. Not sure what the catalyst was there, but that was definitely not something you want to see on this track.
Yeah, it looked like Checkmate Taylor got a piece of that wall as well. He was in that group. He had fallen to the back there, and it looks like a couple of them got a little too high coming off that corner and got in the wall.
Oh, look at this. TWM in that 48 giving them a run. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Hoffy trying to get out of the way. He gets into the wall. He bangs the wall a little bit there, but gets away from it. Here comes the number 48 at TWM trying to make up for lost time and lost ground. He did pick the lap back up, I believe, after that pit stop, so he is not a lap down anymore. He is in the main race. Oh, and look at this up here front, guys. The battle yet again. How many times we're going to say this tonight? K, Taddy, and Cola. Taddy on the bottom, Cola on the top. But look at this. Piles of Throttle says, I don't care which side you guys take. I want the lead more than you boys.
I was about to say, is that she started creeping up in here now, and now she's becoming a factor. She gets under Cola going down into turn 3. Let's see if she can hold that spot. Here they come off of turn 4, and yes, she will take the second spot away. And now here comes El Blanco to the bottom of Cola, and Pauls is going to the outside.
To the outside, Pauls the Throttle now taking that number 4 high up of, trying to get that Ford Mustang pushed a little bit more. Cola Motorsports trying to give him a run. A little bit of 3 wide action back there. That's all good. I was going to say, Paul's right now is putting on some Chamillionaire because she's creeping on the low, creeping on the low, but not rolling solo. All right. Yeah, it looks like she's going to push back a little bit there. Man, I'll tell you what, if I was ever hired as a musical artist, like, I would be perfect at a deaf retirement home, man. I would be killing the competition over there.
Meanwhile, speaking of competition,
back to the race, yeah. Gates out in the number 22, and look at this, Cola Motorsports on the bottom out of the front straightaway. He's got a run from El Blanco del Succo. El Succo now trying to give him the run and give him the push. He's pushing him up into there. Pause the Throttle now going to follow behind him with the 3 wide salute. Trying to get that train going there. It looks like she's going to trade it, opt in for Kate Hattie. They don't want Cola or El Saco to get too far away from them. They both need those points and need to get into the top 4 and stay there if they want to race at Kentucky next week.
We go down the front straightaway. Cola with the lead. El Blanco, El Succo in second. Now here he comes trying to make a move down into turn 1. Not quite there yet. Now Taddy gets underneath of him coming off turn 2.
And there he goes. Paul's the Throttle now coming out of the back straightaway there. Going to give El Succo the run. She is going to put him up there in the high line, take the low line, the preferred line. Most drivers have told me earlier, but that high line does have grip and a little bit of run if you know how to run it. But isn't it ironic? Paul's the Throttle is running that number 4 Ford Mustang on a track that, well, we all kind of know that number 4 for being on the bottom line as one of the faster drivers, and look what she's doing right now. Coincidence?
Guys,
I think not.
But there's a battle for 5th between Checkmate and Young Racing. Keep in mind, they are in the top 4 or top 5 in points, battling for that final position.
That's going to be crucial for Young RCN after that big wreck he had earlier with Paul's the Throttle. Sparky, go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
Speaking of, let's talk about Checkmate Taylor. He made a nice recovery after he fell from back there a little while ago, getting in the wall. He's made a nice recovery to get back up in that top 5.
He has indeed. Ever since that little whiff with Paul's the Throttle out of turn 4, everything seems to finally going back his way. But again, we said it earlier, and we'll say it again. It doesn't matter if you had a bad first stage. It matters if you, or even a second stage. What matters is that you stay in the lead lap and you get into that final stage ready to race. Because these stage points do matter, but I'll tell you right now, 10 or 5 more points makes a big difference in this league.
Absolutely. You're definitely right on that. Every position counts, every point counts in this race to see who's going to get into that top 4, especially when you get to that final stage. Definitely going to have to figure out where you're going to be at for that.
Indeed. But right now, looks like the leader's catching up to G3 in that number 19.
Oh, no!
El Succo out of the front straightaway.
Around,
El Succo is in the grass. He opened up his own lawn care service. I'm not sure what the catalyst was to that, but my goodness, that was not a good-looking wreck on his end.
Yeah, him and the 8 car got together coming off 4 there, and unfortunately for El Succo, he went down to the lawn care service there after that little bit of contact there.
He did indeed. We got 4 viewers in the booth right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll try to keep up with your stuff here in contact from the comments, but right now we're kind of focused on the races, as right now the battle yet again. Well, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. I'm getting tired of saying it, but K-Taddy in that 22 and Cola Motorsports in that number 10. Once again, raging war. Two Ford machines looking to see who's the better built Ford Tough. Oh, Cola got off the bottom there. Looks like he touched the apron and lost some ground there. Here comes K-Taddy down the front straightaway, side by side, coming down the front. Down to turn 2. We've only got about 5 laps remaining in this one here. And Taddy on the bottom. He's got to run. Cola now on the inside of it, on the outside of him, holding him out, trying to get around it and trying to bring the momentum back into the backstretch. They both stay side by side. No man giving an inch on that one.
Looking back through here, it looks like Checkmate Taylor has now moved up into the 3rd spot, putting Pottles back to 4th.
And has indeed, and it looks like right now, Pottles right now, she is right now behind Checkmate Taylor in that number 8, and I think she is in the bubble, or right now in position to get in there. We got lap traffic up here, guys. Number 19 and G-Pre getting out of the way for these 2 drivers, but didn't seem to slow them down one bit. Good driving on G-Pre to let these drivers run, but nonetheless, that could have ended a little more worse for wear, as we're down to the last 3 laps of stage 2.
Guys, and Pottles is at a threat of losing another position. That's another point lost.
Yeah, young RCN in that 1 car has caught up to her, and not far behind him is Rowdy, so yes, it's a possibility she might lose 1, maybe even 2 spots here. She's got to hold them off here and get to the end of the stage. Back
up front here, K-Taddy Bast on the inside of turn 3, going into turn 4 by Cola. Cola now regains the lead of stage 2, trying to play spoiler to Taddy and the other drivers, and hopefully get himself in the running next season for Heat 5, when we will be running a whole new set of drivers and quite a few more racers in one of the best, looks to be all-around racing leagues we will have on display here next season. That will start in July, just for the record. But right now, everybody in the back just kind of trying to find their line, trying to find a way around. But young RCN and Rowdy have now caught up to Piles of Throttle coming out of turn 4, so we'll have a bit of a battle for 5th here.
I guess Rowdy heard us talking about him earlier about not having speed, because he's turned up the wick here in this stage. He's there being a threat, as he's right on the back bumper of Pottles as they come off turn 2.
Right now, I can tell you right now, Rowdy heard that and he was like, "Speed, I am speed. Float like a Cadillac, sting like a beaver." Pulling little lightning queen on us here, man. He's flying that U.S. Air Force Afterburn, trying to find a way around Pottles with Throttle, but that's the problem with Pottles, is she will not give you an inch, even if you want it. You have to earn it, and it looks like that is the end of that stage. Sorry guys, I did not quite catch the laps there. I was so focused on the racing. I'm not sure who got the win on that one. We'll go up to the front and find out who that was. Looks like Taddy will get the point there, so he's now got 2 points in the ballot, doesn't he?
Yep, because he won the first stage as well. Yep.
Well, shoot. Well, you heard it live there, guys. Taddy with 2 points already. So that means those drivers that are battling for the final spot are going to have to give everything they got and a little bit more if they even want to be considered in the final 4. This is going to be huge. I feel like this is going to be the game changer here.
Definitely, because definitely if this thing goes green, they're at least they have to make at least one pit stop during this run here. So that pit stop may be crucial whenever they do it, and who gets the tires, how it all times out. This is going to be wild.
El Succo got put in the back there, so he's got a lot of room and a lot of work to do. Good for the other drivers, not so much for him. Green flag high in the air. Here we go. One more time. This is the last chance to get into the playoffs. Got an onboard here with Hoffy. You can just see how these guys are going side by side, battling for that early position, just trying to find the right teammate and the right partner to get the draft off of. That draft's so crucial. And El Succo, you just saw him make the move around. Naughty Milk does, and Hoffy, and turn 3 going into turn 4. He is pushing that old Ford Mustang to its limits, just trying to catch up to one another up in the front.
Yeah, now's the time. If right at the beginning of this race, now would be the time to try to get those spots when you can right off this restart here. Get as much as you can before it gets strung out.
Young RCN will do war with JKR in that number 2 here, but Checkmate Taylor in the number 8 going to give him a little bit of a push as well, trying to get both drivers back up to that top spot. Checkmate is just 1 point out of that final race of the season and the championship. He needs a good race here and a good finish.
Ooh, Cola and Pottles with contact, guys.
They're going to go side by side, the battle for second. So Taddy right now can probably take a little bit of a rest and take a little bit of a breather, because Cola and Pottles will do battle for second, as Paul's the throttle for the first time tonight has now got up into second place. Also, just quick thing from the comment section. Thank you to Extreme Dirt for tuning in. Thanks for the Pedal to Metal Racing League shout out. We appreciate that, brother. And man, but right now, the battle still for third, actually, now, as Checkmate Taylor has now wormed his way up. He's creeping up on them. He's getting into that third place spot. The battle for second yet again, though, as Paul's the throttle and Cola and that number 10 will do war to try to get around. Cola gets the run. Pottles leaves it open and gets the bottom taken away from Checkmate Taylor. They're going to go side by side down the front straight away. Hey, look at this. Young RCN, that number 1, he is now in the running. He's coming for him.
Guys, I think I saw Young give Pottles a little bumper there going to turn 1, kind of get her loose.
That definitely hurt her, because she went way up the hill. She had to kind of pedal it to get through that corner because she was up near that wall.
Maybe a little bit of payback earlier for stage 1. I wouldn't think so. Young RCN's one of the better drivers around here for clean racing, but I wouldn't put it past him to put a little bumper or two in there if he has to. I'll tell you one guy who won't be afraid to put the bumper in there. That's JKR, that number 2, man. He will put that front end and that rear bumper in you if he has to, just to get around you. He's a hard racer, but you gotta believe when he gets it going, man, he gets it going. He won't give up.
Well, guys, and speaking on, experience from last night, you gotta use that bumper sometimes to just not in an overly aggressive way, just I'm here, I'm faster, kind of let you know type of way.
Well, I'll tell you one that's trying to do it right now and do exactly what you're saying. That's Cole in that number 10, and I'm getting tired of saying this, but Kate Taddy and Cola will do battle for the lead, as Cola currently on that back bumper of Kate Taddy, not giving him any breathing room. And here comes Checkmate Taylor now. He is now making a run, trying to give one of these guys the push and the rub to get around him. He might try to take it inside, and Kate Taddy looks like he's going to try here. Gets the run out of turn 2. He's right on that rear end bumper. He's going to get the push, but Taddy's not going to get the draft from Cola. Taylor saw it coming and gets back behind him.
Yep, smart move by Taylor not to try to race him down in the corner, just to get back in line and try it again another lap or so.
Speaking of laps or so, currently we're now on lap 53 of 81, so not a lot of breathing room for these guys. We're just under 30 laps remaining in this one. So early on, I feel like this is going to be crucial, because that gas does come into effect. I believe there's only 25 laps of fuel in these cars, so these guys are going to have to pit eventually.
Yeah, especially since this last run is about 41 laps. So yeah, they will have to pit at least for fuel. So yeah, they're definitely going to have to. They're going to have to worry about that green flag pit stop, and when do you pit and how do you get on pit road, and don't speed. If you speed, that may cost you the top 4.
A little bit of a breather from the front end here. A little bit of a battle here in TWM in the 48, and Hoppy in that number 3 battling for 12th here. So neither one trying to end up in dead last, but nonetheless they're put on a little bit of a show in the back. I mean, up front it's where most of the excitement is, but you can't count out some of the drivers in the back. Got to give them a little love in the racing. But as I say that, Young RCN out of turn 1 into 2 gets blown away by Pauls of Throttle. I think she found a new pedal in there. She just put the pedal to the metal on him out of turn 2 and overtakes for 4th. But now up front, yet again, a battle for 2nd. K Taddy has now been pushed to the back as Checkmate Taylor has taken over 2nd place.
That's a big move by Checkmate Taylor. Get another spot there. He's up to 2nd now. If he can just stay there with them top 2 up there with Taddy and Cola, he's looking pretty good to make that top 4.
Indeed, there. Right now, I mean, we're going on board with K Taddy, and we're showing you guys where these guys are hitting their lines at. It's kind of taking that bottom lane, so they're really trying to hug that yellow line as you see there. The big difference is with the aerodynamics of the car and the speed they carry out of the entry into exit is crucial, because if you're off by just a hint and you touch that apron, you lose all the speed and momentum you carried on from there, and it'll send you straight to the right or down into the bottom end and spinning. But nonetheless, these guys holding that spot out and holding it very well. So good driving on everybody to stay away from that end and not getting loose early. That's crucial driving right there.
Absolutely. I mean, the 10 of Cola and Taddy I was looking at earlier, and even Checkmate too. Those cars look very solid. They're able to grip down on the bottom and stay down on the bottom of the racetrack. Not, like you said, not get down on the apron. They're able to hold that bottom line like a champ, and these are some pretty good drivers, and they got some pretty good setups in these cars too to be able to hold it around there like that.
And I'll tell you one thing right now, Cola Motorsports, one thing he's doing really well that no one else seems to be hitting as well is that he is hugging the wall on entry and NX, and right before he gets out of entry, he is just slinging it straight down, diamonding it almost. You can see the car coming off of that track. Like, he is hitting some major bumps, but he's making it stick to the point where he can get back down the bottom and almost just completely make this track look too easy as how fast he is hitting his marks right now.
Absolutely, yep. I'm on board with him right now, and exactly what you were saying. He just arcs it up high, and then just dives it down into the corner. Like you said, pretty much just like diamonding it in there, and he's able to keep his momentum and keep his run going.
Yeah, and Spark, to your point earlier, watching the leaders, there's that real big bump in turn 1 that really affects those cars going into turn 1. Cola, Taddy, and whoa!
Whoa, something happened there.
Big problems there for Taddy. He got a little bit loose there, and he ended up going down the bottom apron on the yellow, and he got pushed back. Cola slowed down. Where did Cola go?
He's slowing way back. I don't know what happened
there.
He's
on the front stretch. He got passed by Naughty Milk Duds. That's 10th, I believe. What in the world happened to Cola? I had a camera on Pauls of Throttle and Young RCN. The battle for 4th there at the time was going on, but something major just happened to Cola, unfortunately.
Oh, and now he's on pit road. Motor. I think he just blew an engine.
Oh no, Cola has indeed blown the motor. That is what a tough break for him. He was racing so hard and so well this entire race, and now he's unfortunately going to get put back. But if you think about it, this is going to be very, very friendly to the, or very good, excuse me, to these drivers that are trying to get into that top 4, because now they don't have to worry about that fast driver. Oh, Pauls of Throttle and Young RCN on a turn 2 exit managed to get a little bit clipped but drivers both saved it this time. Young RCN, though, is going to fall back of Pauls of Throttle. Hot Lana right now is being a death machine to some of these guys as it just keeps taking on drivers and taking them out.
Well, hey guys, see, we're getting late in this run, so tires are probably getting pretty worn. So we're probably about to see a green flag pit stop here, I would say, the next 5-ish laps.
And don't look now, but here comes El Blanco del Succo. He is now made his way up into 5th But he's got company in that number 2 at JKR as he looks to try and find a way around him. But you can see El Blanco, well, he's going to the pits now. So it looks like he made his call to go in now. Oh, but he spun out. El Blanco, El Saco, and Naughty Milk does have both spun out of turn 4's exit. I'm not sure what the catalyst was there, but El Blanco del Saco just could not get the car to stay straight off the turn. And I'll tell you right now, running in the Truck Series 2 seasons ago, I had a huge problem when I was trying to pit because I just spun out like it was nobody's business. And that was the key factor to really getting put back. I hope that doesn't happen to El Saco.
Like that.
No, that... Not you. You remember it 2 seasons ago. I was running hard after blowing my motor at Talladega. I was mad about that one.
I'm telling you that this green flag pit stop, it's going to be the thing that's already claimed a couple victims already, because you know it's not too often these guys do green flag pit stops. So I hope some of these guys practice getting on and off pit road, because as you can see right there, we had problems going into the pits.
Of all the tracks that I feel as though that is the most difficult to master getting on the pits at the right time and get the speed down and make sure you don't spin out, I think this track is just really that, because this track, I'll tell you right now, yeah, it's a tire burner, guys, but the thing is, the way the corners are angled and the way they're shaped out, when you're trying to get down into pit road and exit, like here's what they're going to do right now. Checkmate Taylor and the number 8 and Kate Taddy playing the smart road. They're going to go in early before entry and get off the road and get into the pits. Paddles the Throttle's going to stay out, take the lead away, but now that's 3 drivers right now that can get a big draft off that and come back. Rowdy in number 43, that hot rod is going to put the afterburner in the pits as well. Some drivers coming out of the pit road now. You see Hoffy in the number 3. Looks like Naughty Milk Duds has also been out for a while now. He came out when Cola and them were going in, as well as El Blanco del Saco. So Paddles the Throttle right now, she still has the lead, but it looks like she's going to pit as well. I think she's kind of retracing her steps there.
Guys, when I talked to Paddles earlier today before the race, she talked about maybe going just a lap or 2 longer than the leaders to try and put some distance before her, or between her and the leaders, and to give her 1 to 2 lap fresher tires than everybody else.
That's a smart idea. Yep, absolutely. That's a good idea, because then you don't have to worry about being busy on pit road with the other drivers. And like you said, she'll get that extra lap of rubber on there. That could be the difference.
So the U.S. Air Force afterburner, Rowdy Silver's beating out Checkmate Taylor in the pit. So I'm not sure who took more tires in that case. Probably both, I would say, took a good hint of gas. Whoa, Rowdy a little loose. Not even getting on the track there. I think he was just trying to stay out of the way of some drivers. But Checkmate Taylor getting the blunt end of that one. He manages to hold off, though, and get back on it. The battle now, if I could tell you right now, I wish I could. But I think right now the battle is for 3rd or 4th between Checkmate Taylor and Rowdy, as the driver's now getting back into the groove of things. Paul's the Throttle's now on the track, and Young RCN, that number 1, getting a huge run out of turn 2, looking to catch up to the leaders.
You know what? Pottles, by doing that, she is now still the leader. Now, Taddy's coming up full speed up on her, but that pit stop she had was flawless, because she gained a couple spots too, and now she's up here battling for the lead.
That may have been a flawless pit stop, but that doesn't mean anything when you got Kate Taddy beside you. The Pennzoil Ford Mustang 22 now getting a big run out of turn 2, trying to overtake the mobile number 1 Ford Mustang of Paddles the Throttle. The battle out of turn 3 into 4. Paddles the Throttle will maintain the lead. Can she go back-to-back nights with a win? That's going to be crucial for her, because this will get her into the final 4, and that'll make it for 2 seasons in a row, or 2 league series in a row. She will make it in.
And remember, she's got 1 lap fresher tires than Taddy does. That's why she's able to hold that high line off just a little better than he is.
Will that be the difference maker? Did strategy play into it a little bit more for Pottles? Or can Kate Taddy find a way around, as they're going to go around lap traffic here? G3 and the number 19. Stay up high, brother. Stay out of the way. Let these guys run. He will do indeed. But right now, you know, that's going to be crucial. Here comes Kate Taddy on the inside. He's going to try to overtake Paul's the Throttle. Pottles now holding the middle line, trying to get it to stick, but Kate Taddy has a little more of a run coming down that back straightaway. Look how close these guys are getting here, folks. They will not give an inch to one another on this track, as they will go back into turn 3, into 4, It looks like Taddy's going to get a little bit more of a run off that. Oh, contact out of turn 4 as Taddy and Pottles connected there. The rear end of K Taddy getting into Pottles, but does not seem to affect her at all as the battle continues on.
Oh, and then Pottles gives him a little bit of a shot going into turn 1, and here she comes right back down on the bottom.
Back down the bottom, here comes Pottles the throttle, now trying to get a run off of turn 3, going into turn 4. Side by side, down that straight, down that turn, and Pottles will get the run yet again. K Taddy trying to find another light, trying to find another run. This is going to be a big one for K Taddy because he needs to stay in the points race, but he needs to watch it because Pottles will not give him an inch, no matter how hard you race her.
And look at this good side-by-side racing between these two. They are really giving it all they have here in the closing laps.
This ain't no Talladega race. This ain't no Michigan race, folks. This is Atlanta at its best. And right now, with 74 laps now put into the book, it's 8 laps to go for these two drivers as one tries to overtake the other and win this race here. Hey, look at this. Actually, while we're talking about that, up in the back here, we got a bit of a battle here. Checkmate Taylor and Young RCN, the top 5 drivers, trying to find that elusive 4th spot. They're going at it for 3rd. Or, excuse me, 4th, excuse me.
JKR guy is in a surprising 3rd place. Look, he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, where did he come from?
He put a few front end bumpers and rear bumpers to a few people and finally found a way to run better than Brad Keselowski. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud?
Guys, again, look at Pottles is in the lead with those fresher tires.
Wait a minute, guys. Is El Blanco El Succo in the pits? Has he blown the motor? Oh, no. He blew the motor, folks. El Blanco del Succo. That's going to be crucial and huge. That might be the game changer.
Oh, goodness. Oh, wow. That's huge. That is absolutely huge right now.
That's a heartbreaker and a half if I ever saw one. Down 76 of 81. We're down to the final 5 laps as soon as they go to that finish line here. Taddy trying to find anything, and I mean anything, to get the run off the Pottles' draft. But the thing is the aerodynamics starting to burn in on that tape? Is the car getting too loose for him to finally get a run and make the move? You can see it right now. Look at the wobble. The way that car in the middle, the way the middle of his car is just wobbling in entry and out of and going into exit. That's crucial. That does not help him much at all, especially with those bumps giving him not any help.
Oh, we got a battle for 3rd now. Here comes Checkmate Taylor.
Oh, G Pre almost took Taddy out there. Holy smokes!
Wow. Oh, man.
G Pre about took a run and a half there. I'm not sure what happened to JKR. That might have been something with G Pre, but G Pre just was lap traffic down and about cost a few drivers there. Checkmate Taylor has now made it in there. Sparky, what did you see? I could not catch all that.
Well, I was back there, and Checkmate Taylor had a run on JKR going into turn 3, and it looks like his car got a little bit tight going up and got into JKR a little bit and knocked him up into the fence almost. And now here comes Young RCN underneath Taylor now for 3rd spot.
The battle for 3rd. Checkmate Taylor needs the best finish he can. He wants in that final 4 spot. You can see the determination in his eyes and his focus. You can tell it just by how hard he's hitting the pedal to the metal out of the turns. But folks, we're down to the last 2 laps and Pottles the throttle. Could she finally do another back-to-back night of racing wins? She won at Texas. She's looking good here at Atlanta, but don't count out K Taddy. He's been battling all night long, just trying to get that win and get into the points race, the playoffs race next week. This is all on the line, guys. There's only 2 left here as they come down turn 3 and 4.
I tell you what, for Pottles here, as we're getting close to the end of this race, I tell you what, for Pottles here, she was struggling for a while, but here this last 2 weeks or so, she has been lit a fire under her, and she has just been on a tear.
White flag high in the air. Flagman calls for it, so if those binoculars come out, it's going to be a end of the race here no matter what they do. Paul's the throttle is trying to give everything she's got to hold off Taddy. Taddy is still behind her, though. One wrong slip up. That's going to cost her. Here they come out of turn 3 into 4. Oh man, she's gonna hold it out of turn 4 to the end. Back to back. Pause the throttle's gonna take home Atlanta. Kate Taddy finishing second, and I believe that'll be Checkmate Taylor with a big third place finish. Young RCN in fourth. That could be the difference between making the top 4 and making it just 1 point short. But with El Blanco El Saco unfortunately blowing the motor, that's going to knock him down a few spots and cost him. As the rest of the field finishes out here, Naughty Milk Duds at number 9 finally getting around. U.S. Air Force Afterburner already passed by, and so is JR and TWM of the 48. G Pre now the last driver on the field, coming to the end, but we'll get to your end results here, as it looks like that is the official race right there and then. So here we go. Let's take a look at our top 10. Pause Throttle finishing first. Checkmate Taylor in the second place. K Taddy in second place, excuse me. Checkmate Taylor in a third place. Fourth place going to Young RCN. Fifth place going to go to JKR, so a good showing from him. The 43 of Rowdy Silver is going to make it into the 6th place spot. 7th going to 36 of good old JR. TWN the 48 finishing 8th. Hoffy in the 3 finishing 9th. And in the final 10th, it is going to be Naughty Milk Duds and that number 9 Chevrolet.
All right, Milk Duds, way to go.
I think you're the only guy that's going to give him any credit.
Hey.
Gotta give something.
Now I gave Milk Duds credit on Friday night when we had our Poddle Showdown race. It wasn't aired, but it was a fun race that we had here at PTM. I gave Milk Duds a shout out for the win.
Fair enough. So it looks like out of all that, it's going to be Young RCN with the fastest lap. That could be a huge difference maker for him. We're going to get everybody out of the booth, or not out of the booth, off the track, as Paddles the Throttle is going to go down to that straightaway and do a little burnout or two. Thanks again to everybody that tuned in tonight and watched with us live. We appreciate your support. Appreciate all the love you guys give to us. Man, we can't do without you guys. But also want to say thank you to our sponsors, Dirt Track if you're mobile, Android, and iOS devices, as well as Courtesy Chrysler and Jeep out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Give us 1 sec here, folks. We're going to hop out and get our drivers in here. Sorry for the blue screen. I hate doing that to y'all. Give us just 1 minute here. Alright. Go ahead and tell the drivers to hop in with the booth here with us, guys. God, can we not get our camera crew down there to go get them? All right, there they are. Here they come. So, coming out of the car right now, that number 22, finishing second at Atlanta. It's Kate Addy in that number 22 Ford Mustang. Congratulations on a well-fought battle and a well-fought race. You got 2 stages. You couldn't get that final one, but man, you and Pottles had a run and a half. What was the key to success to winning the first 2 and battling it out with Pottles there?
Yeah, it was for the most part, I was just riding behind that 10 car Cola, and then I tried making a move with a couple laps to go. Luckily, I was able to get below him, and then he was having a hard time getting back around me. Then in stage 3, he lagged, and I had 4 seconds of damage. And on top of that, Pottles, that was great racing side by side with her. That was really good racing. But there at the end, G-Pricks, I think, the 19 spun. And when he did, I went to go down below on Pottles, went to the outside, and he kind of come right down across my nose. So I shot to the outside, and it messed me all up. I lost a bunch of time. Otherwise, I think it would have been a little bit closer of a battle for the finish. But either way, congratulations to her.
Absolutely, indeed. Yeah, that's just the thing with lap traffic, man, is you got to be wary of them, and they're going to happen. That's the difference between being the fastest driver and then just all of a sudden getting put in the back because, unfortunately, one of the slower drivers just got you. But you know what? That's okay. Every race counts and every race matters, and I think down the road you'll have plenty more wins under your belt. So keep strong out there. Good racing tonight. Congratulations.
It was definitely fun racing. Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kate Taddy, and congratulations on your second place finish here tonight. As we now joined, coming out of that car in that number 8 machine, Checkmate Taylor, putting that I believe that Ford Mustang as well into the hot stage of PTM Victory Lane. You didn't quite get the win there. You were looking really solid in stage 1 and 2 with Cola and Kate Taddy there, but man, you had yourself a fight and a half there to the end. What was the key to success again around Young RCN in that final stage, though?
Just determination, man. I battled back from whenever Cola had a lag spike and got me and Taddy some damage, and I was a little slower getting into the pit. I should have been a little more aggressive with my speed. I got one of my energy drink cans in front of my speedometer, so I couldn't really tell how fast I was going. But as soon as I got out of there, man, I was just trying to make up for, you know, the lost time, and I couldn't catch up. And Puddles is fast, Taddy's smoking fast. I mean, there's a lot of fast cars tonight, and I had a lot of fun though, man. It was good, tight racing. Even passed a couple times on the high side, which I love to do if I can. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
Just overall a great race, man.
Indeed, sir. That just goes to show you, folks, why some of the best drivers only come to race in this league and only want to show you guys at home and everywhere around the world, like, what it's all about when you get to race these guys at their finest and at their best. And Taylor, you definitely proved tonight you can be one of those guys, so congratulations again on a third-place finish. I think this will get you into the top 4, but we're going to have to see how the points go for this one.
All right, thanks, man. Hey, and just for the record, the 8's a Chevrolet Camaro.
I was going to get there. My producer slapped me upside the head and was like, what is wrong with you? It's a Chevrolet, not a Ford. I've got my view right now on Puddles' car. She's doing some burnouts. I'm trying to get her over to Victory Lane so she can talk, so I apologize in advance.
She deserves that one. Hell of a race, Puddles.
Checkmate, I couldn't reach them more 6 feet apart, or else I would have got him in the back of the head and said, no, it's a Chevy, not a Ford.
It's all good, Spark. Awesome.
That's not Spark that was talking to you, buddy.
Oh, my bad.
All right. Before we get you in trouble, Taylor, congratulations. We'll see you next week, man.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, and, well, when she decides to put it in victory lane, still doing some burnouts, but coming out of the car, it is Paul's the throttle in that number 4 machine. Congratulations on a well-thought-out win. You were in the back for the second and first stage, but you had finally got the run and started working it up. And it seemed like as soon as Cola blew the motor and Taddy and you got into there, it seemed like everything was now being put in place for you to try and take that win.
Yeah, it really helped with whatever happened here. I caught up to 3 of them really fast. So then when I done that, I just decided to stay out a little longer, have some fresher tires, and it ended up working out.
Indeed it did, and man, it looked like you had a pretty fast machine out there, but yeah, indeed, we were talking in the booth. We said she's going to pit 1 lap later. Usually that can be either a story of success or a story of just what could have been, but this time it was a story of success, and you managed to put that in that old Ford Mustang into the lead and into the win, not getting overtaken by Taddy there on that restart after the pits.
Yeah. It was a good run. Another night of not practicing, showing to set up in and go.
I guess we're going to call you No Practice Puddles from now on. That seems to be working for you. But nonetheless...
That might seem to be the good luck charm for her, is if you don't practice, she just jumps in race day and throws a setup in there and just runs with it.
Yeah.
I guess it does, but nonetheless, Paul's the throttle. Congratulations on that. It's that back-to-back win here tonight. Not in trucks, but in a Cup Series. That's pretty impressive considering that was the best drivers in NASCAR Heat League Series you had to take on. So congratulations there.
Thanks.
Sparky, McCarthy. Other than my bad manufacturing names and rebranding the wrong cars, I think tonight was a fantastic night of racing.
Yeah, it sure was with all them Dodges out there. I mean, but anyway, yeah, I'm curious to see how the points come out with Checkmate Taylor up there. He was only 1 point out, and I'm wondering, seeing if he's going to get in or not. It was fun seeing Taddy up there, having a great run up there. You know, he's been pretty stout all year so far. And again, Puddles the throttle, definitely living up to the throttle name, because she's been throttling here the last couple of weeks. I said that earlier. She's just been on fire.
I used to say, like, when she was racing against Archon, she throttled that snake and put that boot straight into the snake's neck. But considering he's not racing anymore, she put the boot and the throttle to all the boys tonight, showing some girl power and some female fatale over here. But nonetheless, guys, that was a great race for K-Taddy and Checkmate Taylor, as well as Younger ICN. And it's tough to see El Succo and Cola, unfortunately, having a tough break there and blowing the motors. But next season when we get into Heat 5, I feel like things may change and we may see a changing of the guard when all is said and done.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think there's going to be a lot of new upcomers that are going to go up to Cup and maybe show what they have. I know that my race team has talked about maybe getting a spot up in Cup. Spark, I thought I heard there's a possibility about you moving up to Cup as well, possibly?
There's some type of rumor about that after the vast improvement of our team this year and making the switch back to Toyota and kind of making some noise. There might be a possibility where the old Spark will jump back up to Cup.
I honestly got that he was going to say he was running in a Dodge now, but nonetheless, I'll give him credit where credit's due for figuring that team out. Alright guys, well, we got to end sometime. Unfortunately, after a great night of racing, we got to call it a night. So to everyone that tuned in, thank you so much. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to everyone that tunes in each and every week and supports us on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us at League PTM, and also be sure to like, share, and subscribe here on PTM Racing for more great action. We can't wait to bring you some of the new stuff coming in the months and weeks to come. But for now, I'm Crusader signing off here tonight. Good night, everybody.